We are Team 108, and we would like to provide the following presentation as a review of cloud computing, what it is, and why it qualifies as a disruptive technology. Today, cloud computing is steadily replacing conventional software solutions because of rapid improvements in technological capabilities. Cloud computing can be defined in a variety of ways, such as applications running on virtual servers on the web, to web-based data storage repositories, and even broadly viewed as anything that is accessed outside of the firewall, as in the cloud. Cloud computing offers a scalable and low-cost solution for the problem of keeping up with ever-expanding data needs, and this is why cloud computing has gathered a lot of momentum in the past few years. There are different types of cloud computing options available. Infrastructure as a source, which is designed to enhance or replace the function of a data center. Platform as a service, which provides virtual servers on which users can run existing applications or develop new ones without having to worry about maintaining the operating systems, server hardware, load balancing, or computing capacity. And finally, software as a service, which can provide all the functionalities of a piece of software, but instead this software is accessed through a web browser instead of being locally installed application. This is the most common form of cloud computing. There are also several reasons why cloud computing is growing in popularity. When compared with traditional solutions, cloud computing suppliers can add capacity or deploy applications with very little notice. More efficient IT spending can be achieved because you are only paying for what you use, typically is subscription-based. It also minimizes investment costs in hardware and networks. When cloud computing solutions are provided, suppliers and customers don't have to worry about application updates and maintenance. Well, cloud computing may sound cool, but does it qualify as a disruptive technology? We've explored the 5 criteria for disruptive technology, and we can now see if cloud computing makes the grade. The first is simple adaptations of known technologies. As a concept, cloud computing has been around for over a decade, with its origins being traced to clustering or grid computing. And since we are talking fundamentally in most cases with a web-based technology, then we can't deny that the internet has been around for a long time, and with cloud computing, its use for the delivery of IT infrastructure and software delivery is revamped with cloud computing. Next, let's talk about increased efficiency. Cloud computing is a scalable solution that customers can pay only for what they need. With that scalability comes naturally lower cost. Customers don't have to pay for features that they don't need just because it came in the box. Additionally, the delivery of software to employees can become drastically streamlined. Instead of having to obtain individual licenses for each computer, install it for each user, and make sure that each user has the most current updates, cloud computing allows for a group of employees to access the same software solution from one software installation. All of these factors equate to efficiencies in managing the cloud solution, as well as efficiencies in the management of day-to-day activities by employees. Disruptive technologies must also exhibit unique and unexpected performance. Initially, cloud computing was plagued by performance issues, mainly attributable to processing power, lower bandwidth, and slower networks. In addition, cloud computing did not offer the features that were valued by more high-end clients, such as security, standard practices, and enterprise control. Cloud computing was more appealing to low-end consumers, who valued cost and flexibility versus performance. Early adopters of cloud computing included entrepreneurs and small businesses. New markets tended not to have the resources to acquire expensive hardware, nor could they afford a dedicated IT staff to maintain and update existing systems. These customers were willing to trade off security and performance for low cost and scalability. Cloud computing is proving to exhibit improved performance that is valued and beyond competitive. Cloud computing is catching on at a significantly rapid rate, and technology is evolving with it just as rapidly. Advancements in internet speeds and performance are making cloud computing more attractive. Security is also catching up to the needs of higher-end users. Research suggests that the incumbent traditional software license and premises-based data center model is at the point where its performance is sufficiently high to outstrip market demand. One of the more evident impacts from cloud computing is the potential for cost savings. By shifting from wildly expensive mainframe servers investments with high maintenance costs to clouds that are operated by third parties, businesses are cutting IT expenditures in a myriad of ways. In particular, firms must invest in expanded infrastructure to account for peak usage, which must be maintained by additional IT personnel. In fact, according to the research group Gartner, cloud computing will enable the elimination of 25% of IT labor hours by the year 2015 through increases in automation. With more leveraged and automated data located in the cloud versus on individual computers, then additional innovation can be realized. Cloud computing specifically encourages the creation of previously unfeasible business and product lines due to the lower cost of on-demand usage as opposed to acquisition of fixed assets. Alternatively, the new issues with cloud computing center mostly on the data's physical location. Compliance audits will be more difficult with this setup. Also, internationally, different countries have different information protection legislation, while some may not have any at all. These specifications may conflict with cloud computing or render it unfeasible for global organizations. Dependency on cloud service providers can have negative impacts as well. In general, since cloud computing providers are more limited than the potential demand, competition can be impacted. Providers will have to keep up with the rapidly expanding amount of data that customers will be requesting. Lastly, what recourse does a customer have should the cloud provider go out of business? One could form a laundry list of potential problems to counter the advantages of moving to cloud computing: losing flexibility, latency, hidden service costs, risk of price increases, or even lack of knowledge required to manage a cloud service contract. As with any contracting for services, hidden costs can quickly encroach on consumer cost savings. Defining an exit strategy with such a new and unrefined technology will help give more confidence with such a decision. With more leveraged and automated data located in the cloud versus on individual computers, then additional innovation can be realized. We conclude that cloud computing is a disruptive technology. Disruptive in that it will change the way companies currently do business and change the inherent market structures. Our recommendations for successful integration of cloud computing technology include cultural change. Organizations must ensure their employees become acclimated to the new cloud system and sufficiently divorce themselves from legacy systems. They must also analyze and mitigate risks. Businesses must develop a thorough understanding of what level of exposure they are at in terms of longevity, costs, security, performance, etc. Also, concurrent providers need to be reviewed. Avoiding having your data held hostage by a particular service provider, having additional cloud providers will help insulate the business from some level of risks. And lastly, exit strategy. A clear plan B is of the utmost importance in terms of ensuring that the risks stated before are sufficiently mitigated. This concludes our analysis of cloud computing as a disruptive technology. We appreciate the following references for their contributions to this presentation.